house if you can help it. And you want to, when you're going over an eave or something like that, you just want that to look as clean and right angled as possible. So you run your line into your cable box, tap into the lines that you've already found with power, screw in, then you go for, you spin get your signal with either dish or direct. You spin, you get your signal. Of course, with dish, like I told before, a lot of times you have to go, there's 3 satellites, so you want to take the middle one. DirecTV, typically, you will pick it up the first one as long as you're perfectly level and your angles are exactly right. That's easy way to eliminate problems. Perfectly level and your angles are exactly right. Once you get your signal, you go inside, you test it. Dish Network, you do your switch test, you go over to check switch, do the switch test. If it doesn't count 1 to 4 fast, normally you're going to know that you don't have it all. But if it counts slow, you normally got 1, but you don't have them all. Then you'll take the assessment. If for example, if it says 110 on number 1 and then 119, well, 119 always needs to be the first one, the main one you're looking at. So then you know that you don't have it right, and that just means you need to go to the right on your signal strength. Of course, the satellites are in the sky, and so whichever one you're looking at, if you're wrong, you either go to the left or to the right based upon which one the signal meter tells you. If you're doing DirecTV, you need to be having a 95% signal on 101. 95%. If you have 90, you have to go back and fine tune it because you're going to be wasting your time because the rest of the satellites are going to be lower. They're not going to pass the test. So 95%. If you don't have 95%, you're probably not going to pass. You may, but it'd be close. So you want to get that. Once that's there with Dish Network, all you need to do is you can start your download. You go back out to the signal strength screen, you hit done. Then you want to check, though, the signal strength of all 3 satellites with Dish. So they all need to be over 40–45%, all 3 of them, to make sure that they're not going to get any breakage in signal when they have a storm. If they're not, again, you use your chart on the way the satellites are in the sky. For example, if 129 is lower, say it's 30%, then you know you need to go up in elevation because it's higher in the sky. So I'd go up half a degree, maybe half a degree, and typically that'll do it. Then, of course, with DirecTV, no, we'll stay with Dish, I'm sorry. With Dish Network, you find out, make sure all the satellites are adequate signal. Then you go to Done, and then it'll say, is the positioning correct? You hit Yes, and it's going to do a download. So I let those do a download. While that's going on, I'm cleaning up around the house, programming remote controls. And again, the programming remote controls is in the user guide. I'm not going to go over those details now. You should get that down personally. So once that's downloaded with Dish Network, you do the download. You may have already had your diplexer in. You want to be going to TV2, checking it. Things you got to check. That TV has to be in air signal. It has to be receiving an air signal. So if it's in cable mode, that means you go into the menu, you go under channel setup or antenna setup, something like that. And if it is in under cable, there's 2 different tuning modes. Air is basically 1 through 69, channels 1 through 69, and cable is higher. If it's in cable mode, it won't pick up the air signal that's coming from the second for the second tuner from Dish Network. So you need to make sure it's in air mode and then turn to channel 60. And then, of course, finding that, you can have a toner on the line or whatever to find that second room, or you may already see it. You may see the line running right into the wall, and so you can just find it by process of elimination. However you find it is fine, but you want to make sure you get that one on and let them all download. Then you want to call it in. We're calling dash. You'll have the number. Call it in. Let it activate. At this time, personally. Also, one thing I forgot in the evaluation of the walkthrough is I'm checking for wireless internet. Forgot to add that. Ask if they have wireless internet. Do they have wireless internet? If so, then you want to make sure that that receiver box that we're using is plugged into the wall directly, not into a surge protector. It needs to be plugged directly into the wall so that you can hook up the internet connection, because the internet connection has to be plugged directly into the wall, and that's how they sync. So that's something else I may do while it's downloading. I'll put in the internet connection. And then you call, you activate it, it's going to do another download. That download's going to take a little bit longer, so I'm going to clean up everything at that moment. Take that time, clean everything up. I'm going to get my pamphlets out, get your channel list out, your review, your how to use the DVR out, all those things. I'm going to get all that out nice and neat. I'm going to put all the trash back in the boxes, and then I'm going to make sure all the remotes are programmed to work with the TVs. You know, all that. So I'm going to have all that out. I'm going to have everything neat. I'm going to have a channel list in every single room with the remote control on top of the channel list. So that when they go in there, they see the channel list and the remote, and that's this looks a lot nicer and neater for them. And then, of course, you're going to do an explanation to the customer. You want to go key features you want to be doing. Always, always, always. You want to be able to show them how to record a show. Walk them through recording a show with the DVR. If it's high definition, you want to make sure with the Dish Network you have to go into the menu. You hit menu 618, and there's HD setup. You have to go in there and manually turn it from 480i, 480p or whatever to 1080i. If you don't have it up there, it will not broadcast in 1080i. And so that you have to go do that manually. Of course, another thing you have to do is you have to check the broadband setup to make sure that it's reading your wireless connector. And the reason why you want to do that is we want them to see a better TV signal when we leave, and we want them to look at and say, you know what, this TV is a better picture. You want them to show the DVR, highlight the features that we're giving them that are better. That way, that sticks in their mind that they feel like they got a better deal. That they did it. You know, choosing to go with us was a better idea for them. Another thing you want to do is, you know, walk through all that, make sure they record a show, show them the guide, show them the channel up and down, show them the channel list. You know, punch in the numbers. That's all they have to do is punch the numbers in. Volume, power on and off, those things. You want to just check all those things and ask them again. Do you have any questions? Do you understand that? Sometimes they may say, how do I work my DVD player or whatever. And at all costs, I mean at all costs, do leave everything, other devices that they have hooked up exactly the same. Don't change them at all, so that you can simply say, your DVD player, your Wii, whatever, works the exact same as it did before. So, I mean, in certain scenarios where we have to hook up DVD players and whatever, you'll have to